Hi guys, here we are again. Finish it Friday. Let's get into the cabinet. I'm gonna go for the bottom left corner. We have a bin. Oh. We have locks. Let's have a look and see what's all in here. Oh, I got notes on something. Oh, these are Gotland locks that have all been dyed up. So I guess we are going to be spinning locks. There's some gorgeous colors in here. Look at this. And then we have some blue and black. All right, well, we know what we're doing today. We're going to spin some locks. And I think it's just all locks in here. Oh, wait, what's this down here? Oh, sample. We'll put that to the side. And we're going to get out our plying head and we're going to spin some locks. This is going to be fun. I'm kind of excited. I haven't done a lock spun yarn in a while. All right, well, let me get set up and we'll get to work. All right. I've just thrown a lap cloth here. I think I'm just going to do a nice lock spin. I'm just going to do a highly textured yarn. I'm just going to break up the locks and spin them as they are. I don't feel like doing extreme tail spinning today, and I don't want to spin over a core, so we're going to do this. I think this method is also called wolf yarn, but I'd have to go back and look again and see. But this is what we're going to do today. So we are going to spin as ply Z, get my leader charged up. It's not very charged. Let me charge that a bit more. I want to get my spin in my leader all the way to the bobbin. So you can see here, there's not much twist there. So I'm going to add some more. Just run it back. There we go. Okay, now I'm happy. Oops, there we go. All right, stick that to the Velcro. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the locks in my lap. I just threw a cloth over my lap for any debris. And I'm just going to kind of pull them apart. You can do as much or as little plucking as you want, just to kind of open them up for spinning. These ones apparently got a little bit caught in the dyeing or the washing, one or the other. Just on the cut ends, it's a little bit of felting. So just want to pull that apart. Dark blue, we're just going to throw some of that in. This would be Shmee. Okay, so we got all our locks here in our lap, and we're just going to start spinning them. I have crazy cats, so if you hear noise, as usual, it's just my crazy cats. All right, so I'm basically doing a coreless core spun and allowing the texture of the locks to kind of come to the surface. So I'm sort of moving them around in my hands to allow them to come up to the top. I need to increase my uptake. Hold on. There we go. That might be a little bit too much uptake. There, that's a little better. Now, I kind of enjoy the chaos of this, but I do like it to be a little bit controlled. You want to make sure that you have a good solid core, and then allow that texture to just come to the surface. So you want sort of the base of your locks included in that core somewhere. Hold on, let me just hand wind on it a little bit. Okay, so we have this lock here that's not attached to anything. So we kind of want to catch that in our core and then sort of let it wrap around. Now we can stabilize this when we're done with a nice thread ply, and that'll just give it a little more structure. And we are snagged somewhere, hold on. Oh. So I'm going to just keep spinning like this until I have the bobbin full, maybe 2 bobbins worth, because I see I have a lot of locks here, but this is what I'm going to do with this project, and we're going to get it finished. So it's not quite a full bobbin, but when you're spinning like this, it can be very difficult to maintain uptake. So I'm going to do it in smaller batches, and I am going to thread ply for stability. So I'm going to take this. I am just tying a knot in the end just to kind of hold the twist in. I really only do that with plies, but for this I do it with the single. I'm going to thread ply it for a little sparkle. So I have this very fine silver thread, and it does break, but it's fairly strong, surprisingly. It is Hemingworth Metallic, and I got it off Amazon. I have a couple of colors. I think I have 2 silvers, a purple, and a blue somewhere. Anyways, I'm going to use this to ply with. So I'll set that down there. And I get my other bobbin on here. Get my brake band on. Whoops. There we go. Oof, that's high uptake. Now the other thing is, because you do need to use a high uptake with the highly textured yarns, it does get to be tiresome treadling sometimes. So using a smaller amount on the bobbin just makes it easier all around. Pardon me. All right, so my leader is already charged with Z twist, so I am ready to go. Just get my leader on there, stick it on my little Velcro pad, grab that and grab that. And you can see why I have a lap cloth. There's a bit of debris falling out of there, and just wanted to kind of contain it. All right, let me find the end of this. I'm going to untie this now. And then I will tie our thread with it. That didn't work. So we'll pull that off, and we will try again. You want to kind of get to a point where your single's a little stable. There we go. Because as you ply it, you're going to lose some twist because you're spinning the opposite direction. So you want to be able to ply quickly and get it on the wheel before you completely untwist it, like is happening here. So I'm just going to hold that there, pinching here so that the twist can't escape, and I'm using the thread to sort of stabilize it. And it also helps that texture to pop. Now you can leave it as a single, absolutely. But I love to thread ply it and really get that texture to kind of pop to the surface. Now, when you're thread plying, if you have a tail end you want to keep, just kind of pull it out so that it doesn't get caught in the twist. So I'm just using this hand to kind of push the tails out of the way of the twist. So you just kind of push it to the side, then let it wrap. And that'll keep most of that tail out of the twist. Oop, that started going the wrong way. Haven't done that in a while. Oh, and then I snapped it. Oh, look at disaster. Am I worried about it? Absolutely not. I'll untangle it, rethread it, grab my end, and look, I even have a nice little V right there that I can lay this in and kind of do like a worsted draft just to join it a bit, and then quickly put this back on the wheel. Oh, hold on. My thread got caught in there somewhere, so I'm going to untangle that. There we go. Get that down to the bottom. Okay, at this point it's become tangled, so I'm just going to snap it off. Get this onto the wheel. Get up to the point where my thread got snapped and just rejoin that and keep going. Okay, now this is going really slow because I want to get like extra twist in there to really make that texture pop. And I'm having to sit in one spot for too long. So I'm going to up my tension, but you can see my drive band is way too loose. So I'll loosen my knob a little bit more. Don't run your Lundrum with the drive band uber tight. If it sounds like a tuned guitar, it's too tight. It should sound like that. There's kind of a sweet spot between too tight and not tight enough. I'm gonna have to put some fresh wool on my peg. Keeps slipping. All right, so my single split here, but I'm just gonna lay the tip of that lock in that little V. Give it an extra wrap of the plying thread to stabilize it, and away I go. There's nothing to be afraid of here. This is a textured yarn which hides a multitude of sins, and it is more important to have it strong enough to withstand use than it is to worry about it being absolute perfection with not a join or anything anywhere. Like, that's just not possible with this yarn, which I think is the beauty of it. It's chaotic. Imagine that. Dr. Chaos likes chaotic, but it's pretty chaotic. Yeah, pretty chaotic, and also pretty and chaotic. All right. And you will occasionally have to hand wind because you'll get a chunk that sticks, but that's no big deal. And I love using the silver thread because it gives it just a little bit of sparkle in amongst all that texture. Now here I'm not pulling out the tails. I'm just letting the thread wrap around them and giving it even more texture. But you can do whatever you like. Now I can see that this part right here is a little too puffy, so we did have some loose locks in there, so I just pulled them out. Doesn't harm the yarn in any way. And I also have a big puff here that I think is a lock that's become, there we go. So like, you can fix it as you go. If anything really bothers you, just fix it. There we go. And if I'm plying this, I'm rarely plying even. I'm usually coming in from the side or the top. I'm not doing this. Although I should try it and see how it looks. Yeah, see, I don't like that wrap. Well, it's not horrible. I just like it to be a little more spiral plied than even plied. So you can see as the bobbin's getting full, the uptake is decreasing and I'm having to hand wind a little more. So this is why I was only doing like half, 3/4 of a bobbin. I'm not really filling them. They're just easier to handle in smaller batches. So you can continue to crank up your tension to try pulling it on the wheel, but eventually it's going to become very hard to treadle. Again, another reason why I do this in small batches. So here we are at the end. I'm just going to do a straight ply here all the way to the end. And I misplaced my scissors. That's all right. It'll come apart and I can snap that. Now I am going to knot here so they don't untie. There we go. So there's our first skein. And as you can see, there's plenty of texture there. And I think that this would weave up amazing. So that barely put a dent in our bin. I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to keep going at this. I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pick open all of these locks in the bin so then I can just grab handfuls and spin. Okay, it took 2 days, but I'm finally done spinning up my locks into some lovely textured yarn. It actually should have only taken me a few hours on one day, but I had a surprise visitor and I thought it was more important to actually have a life than to isolate myself spinning. Which honestly is how I spend most of my time. Oh, I'm such a hermit. I mean, I socialize with you guys. What do I need with the outside world? All right, hold on. I just gotta get this off of there. So these are like super fluffy yarns. I'm very happy with them. And I think I really do want to weave with them. I'm thinking let's use like a wide set so that it can be really fluffy. I mean, I'm not a weaver, so I don't know if that would make sense, but in my head it does. So I think that might be what we end up doing with it. Like we'll go to like 8, go with a heddle, go with a reed. It's like 8 dents per inch or something like that. You know, try to go wide. Just a thought, kicking it around. But for now, this is our last skein. Look how fluffy it is. I'm so happy with it. I just love my chaos yarn. I mean, look at it's so lively. And they are starting to make commercial yarns that are a little more textured, but I still prefer to make it myself. So I ended up with 4 small skeins. So here they all are. And I just randomly blended the colors. So you get some purple, some dark blues, some light blues. There's some gray in that middle one. Like just mashed up all the colors together and spun them. And this is what I ended up with. Now I'm going to put these in the to be washed bin, which I'm starting to think I should throw into the Finish It Friday cabinet because it's getting full. I'm going to just toss these in there. And I'm going to put away all my tools. And we have another empty bin. Yay! So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it's inspiring you to maybe pick a project for Finish It Fridays and see how far you can get on it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be done on Friday, but start finishing the project on Friday and then continue till it's done. Or maybe just select a block of time on your Friday to commit to finishing a project. So say 2 hours in the evening, I'm going to work on this project until it's done. So every Friday for 2 hours you work on that project. As we get into this, it may end up being several consecutive Fridays, in which case I will show you the progress on each Friday until the project is done, because there are some fleeces in here and I know it, and they're going to be tricky. But I'm committed. I'm staying the course. We're going to finish it Fridays. So this was volume 2. I hope you enjoyed the adventure, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.